Good day. I'm Alex. I'm from the consulting company. Today we're going to talk about diversity and inclusion. Let's introduce myself for a couple of sec so you know who I am. Um, I'm a software engineer, a hardware engineer. Learned some electronics at school and also learned mechanics, how to use milling machines, for example. My first job was in aviation, and I was so passionate about aviation that I decided to become an airline pilot just because I wanted to have the knowledge, a better knowledge on how to use those instruments that was programming, or even when I was integrating them into cockpits. I went flying for a couple of years, and when my Swiss-based company went bankruptcy, I had the opportunity to find a job for a flight simulator manufacturer in Montreal, in Canada. As a matter of fact, I was trained on those flight simulators when I was an airline. So I had a job there as a test pilot and test strategic lead for a couple of years. And diversity in our company comes like this, like many airline business or companies which are related to airline, the number of nationalities in there. The number of nationalities in those companies is just like extremely high. I mean, you're talking about 130, 150 nationalities. People are coming from different horizons and different cultures, but also we have a lot of different skills required to make a flight simulator. We have plumbers, yes. We have carpenters, we have painters, we have wiremen, we have graphists, electricians, machinists, lawyers, regulator representative, and all that. We're talking about 3,500 employees in Montreal, just in the main manufacturing site, where all the engineers and all the people from the floor are working together. The inclusion was really shown and required when we were building this new family of simulator. We needed that because we needed to have new electronics. We wanted also to change the way it was built. We want to be faster and cheaper. We already knew how to do that, but we were pretty much sucking at it. So, how can you make a 3.5 ton simulator new way of doing it? Well, it's let's take an example. A 3.5 ton simulator, you cannot ship that in one piece. Or if you ship it in one piece, it's going to be extremely expensive. So you have to talk with the engineers, you have to talk with the carpenters, you have to talk about shipping, and you have to talk with the shipping people because of the size. Dangerous goods. Dangerous goods are things that you can't put on planes or boats because they can explode or it's not good for the environment. And of course, you need to discuss those things because you cannot build that thing and then say, well, just ship it. No, you need things that need to be discussed before. So the way of doing that, building that new generation of simulator, was done through Kaizens. Kaizen is a methodology or something that comes from lean manufacturing. What you do, you just throw people into a room, and those people are coming from the different horizons and from the different, if you wish, department of the company. And then we just talk together and say, okay, this is the kind of issue we have. How can we solve it? And the concept is that there is no red tape and there is no stupid idea. Even someone from mopping the floor, for example, will say, well, if you use this kind of product, then it's going to be a pain for me because then I'm going to spend 6 hours cleaning the floor because of oil spilling or whatever. And this is where it goes. Everybody has a valuable idea. You just need to listen to it. So we're given I'm going to give you another example with the traditional sound system inside the simulator. We have about 11 speakers, and someone has the idea to replace that with a system with an Ethernet connection. An Ethernet connection is super good because when you got 11 speakers, then you can reduce the number of wires required, and also it's very good for the wireman because if you look at a simulator, it's not something very comfortable to work with. You have small spaces, difficult to access, and if you just got one cable, and if you can maybe tune something from the cockpit or from a computer is going to be way much easier rather than using a screwdriver and go below the simulator to try to do it. So the Kaizen was a great opportunity to learn from the others. What is their job? What are their challenges? And can you help them with your external new view on things? Inclusion created a really fast reacting network inside the company. We have that problem. Hey, the painter, the guy there who's doing the painting, maybe he's able to help you. Or you guys, I know that you have a challenge with that, with mechanical adjustment, but by software for me, just like 5 minutes to do it. Maybe it's going to be easier to do it that way and maybe cheaper. So the list and the examples can go on and on, in my case, in terms of diversity and inclusion. It all boils down to the fact that you need to be curious about what the others are doing, how they do it. And that's pretty much how the Boeing 777 was made in the 90s. People working together, and all those people are coming from different horizons. So I know open spaces are very noisy, and we love to have our, for example, headsets and listening to music because it makes us more comfortable. But we should never forget to go towards the others and discuss, engage the discussion with people which are outside of our group, so we can learn what they're doing and we can learn from their challenge, and maybe we're going to discover a way to help them, or they have a solution, a better solution to what we need to achieve. Well, you know, I don't want to spend more or to spoil more about what we're going to discuss, but it's going to be part of my talk also in keynote in Prague. And anyway, because we're coming from landing here, I'll let you guys think about that. And I'm looking really forward to see you in Prague, and I hope you enjoy this short flight with me. You guys have a great day.